Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Single Chronicles. I am your girl, R.S. Lewis, aka Insomniac Writer, and today we're talking about the independent woman. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So if you are new here, make sure you heart, favorite, save, share this podcast wherever you're streaming it at. But if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified. This way, no matter where you're getting the Single Chronicles, you'll be notified for new episodes and stuff. For everybody else, welcome to the Single Chronicles. Hey. Missing someone. Missing someone. That was a rather quick intro. I don't need to let y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all just jump in the episode and listen. If I tell y'all everything in the intro, then y'all be like, I don't think I want to listen in. But anyway, let's keep this thing rolling. Okay, the independent woman. Why is it a problem? It's like, at one point, it was like a dope time to be a woman. We had songs. Matter of fact, we got a song, Independent Woman. And now it's like, we had a couple songs called Independent. Webby had one, INDEPE. But now, it's like, the guys are trying to reclaim their patriarchal masculinity. I don't fucking know. But there's a difference between an independent woman and a damaged woman. And that's what I want to really talk about. Like, it's okay. And I'm not talking about the word independent. What does that mean? That means alone. Soul, by yourself. Yeah, okay. Defining terms. But we stapled that word onto the woman that made a man not feel needed, so to speak. Oh, you don't need no man. You independent woman. It's not that she doesn't need a man or a mate per se. It's just that A, she can do bad all by herself, or she's found a way to meet all her needs and requirements. And the crazy thing I've noticed about this whole independent thing, the first thing I said, well, what about the kids? Who says she wants the kids? What about the check engine light? Are you a mechanic? I wanted to talk about that. I swear I see it on TikTok. Don't call me when the check engine light come on. Or, yeah, you gonna come around when something go wrong in your car? Why your check engine light always on? Maybe because I need to take the car to the shop. But if you're not a licensed mechanic, then you're not telling me or doing anything for me that I can't do. Call. Hey, Mako, something wrong with my car. I'll take it into the shop. Not all women just leave their check engine light on. Not all women are oblivious to the problems with their car. It's not a high priority on every female's list, but we'll do it. Like for example, I remember before I started dating a mechanic, and as toxic as he was a great mechanic. So I never had to worry about it. But prior to that, I was raised by someone who knew about auto mechanics. So I knew to look for things that was top. And that's when I first started driving. But after dating a mechanic for a couple years, it was like I got lax, I got lazy, and I'm like, oh shit, do I gotta renew my registration? Do I gotta get my car inspected? When the last time I had oil change? They've been checking my oil. So I had to get back on those things because for a long time I didn't have to worry about it. Didn't mean I couldn't do it, just wasn't high priority. So stop saying it. Like, that's just one of the things that guys be saying. Like you a mechanic. Like, really? You gonna do the same thing I'm gonna do. You gonna call somebody to get under here and fix this damn whatever it is. So stop it. Another thing I've noticed, like, it's a lot of gaslighting when it comes to the term independent women. And I'm going to use that for lack of a better term, because I really hate that word independent women, because yeah, it does mean soul, alone, whatever. But call me the asshole. Yeah, I don't need you, but that doesn't mean I don't want you. And I think that damages the ego. To me, as a woman, let a man or female be like, I don't really need you, but I want you. Like, that's a turn on to me. But to someone who has a fragile ego, yeah, that's not a turn on to them. That is a threat. So you feel threatened by a woman that doesn't need you. But here's the kicker. You don't want her if she's too needy either. Make up your fucking mind. What is it? Do you want the woman to it's like I don't want you to be needy, but I don't want you to not need me. It got to be some like in between somewhere. Like what the fuck? What is a woman to do? This is the dating area is like retarded. You know what I mean? You want her to kind of stand on her own 2 feet and show some type of, you know, go getter attitude. Not even go getter, just initiative. Oh, she took the initiative to cook me dinner tonight. She took the initiative to pull my dick out and suck it this morning. You know what I mean? You want her to do these things, regardless if you're doing them and reciprocating them or not. But you don't want her to be to the point that she's just needy. You want her to give you sex every day, but you don't want her to lay in the bed like a corpse for a missionary. Like, come on, make it make sense. Like, that shit drives me crazy. It baffles me how many times a guy will turn around and say and be like, yeah, these women, these little independent women, yeah, you shovel your shit for you. Who gonna shovel your snow? Me. I don't have a problem doing these things. And see, I've gotten a lot of guys have gotten in my DMs or text messages or whatever, and I've apparently offended them by the fact that I didn't need their help. I didn't say I didn't want their help. I just didn't need it. So if they offer and I'm like, no, I got it. And they're like, no, babe, it's totally my treat, or this is something I want to do just to be nice, you know? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, this is helping me on my healing process of knowing, you know, allowing people to do nice shit for me. Sure. But I don't mind it. That's beautiful. You did this nice thing for me. That doesn't mean, just because I don't need you to do it doesn't mean I don't appreciate if you do. So I don't understand where the shaming and the ego tripping is. You know what I mean? You want a woman to be less, so that makes you feel like you're more. Like, why should you have to dim your light so yours shines bright? I don't understand it. If I got 200-watt light bulbs and one of them isn't a good quality light bulb, it doesn't shine as bright, and I have another 100-watt light bulb, it's good quality, good whatever's inside the light bulb, just a perfect light bulb, you know what I mean? It's going to look brighter than the shitty 100-watt light bulb. It just is. So, and people know this. And it's not just men. This is narcissistic behavior any fucking way. You know what I mean? I want you to be the bomb diggity, but I don't want you to make me look bad over here. You know what I mean? So I'm gaslight you a little bit. We create these double standards. And again, like I said, you want a woman to need you, but not be needy. Like, I understand, you know, wanting to not feel inadequate. It's nothing, and that's a different story. We ain't talking about letting this woman make you feel like you just a accessory or inadequate. No, I'm not gonna make that. Should not, a woman who can do for herself shouldn't make you feel that way. Because at the end of the day, if she's a decent ass person, she's gonna appreciate what you do. Even more so because you're doing it at the kindness of your heart and the fact that she could do it for herself for real, for real. Don't feel inadequate, like, why am I here? I'm out here for just sex. Because trust and believe, there's no problem if a woman feels that way about a guy. So, trust me, I've been there. I have been there. And I've heard guys get like really, really upset. Like, and there have been people that are in relationships that have brought this scenario to me, and they'll be like, hey, Rose, my girl, da da da, like, she be acting like she don't even want me around. And I'm like, what, did she tell you? Did she blow you off? Does she not want to spend time with you? Yada, yada, yada. No, it's not like that. It's just that she make more money than me. She do this, she do that. She act like she don't need me. Stop equating it into these outdated, antique norms and gender roles. I don't even want to use the word gender, just roles, saying that a man has to be a provider. There's nothing wrong with a man being a provider. But if you can't financially, and this comes to you women, if you can do everything for yourself, right? And you find a guy that makes a little bit less than you, he's not the breadwinner, but say he can be the homemaker, Mr. Mom, as the old Michael Keaton movie used to be called. Whatever the case might be, or daddy daycare, whatever the case. Like, he's home with the kids while you out working. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a decent idea. Let me get a dude that want to stay home, and I come home, especially if you know how to cook, yo. Or a woman, I don't care. That's the beauty of being bi slash pan. You like, I don't care. But the thing is that if I'm the breadwinner, I'm bringing home the ducats. All right, fine. This is what I need you to do while you're home. Now, let's just say the playing field is level and even, and we're both bringing the bread to the table, whatever the case might be. All right, let's figure out a way to divide all the other shit in half down the middle. You know what I mean? But there are some of these men out here that just stop being independent. Stop acting like you don't need a man. First of all, before you shame and gaslight a female as to why she's independent, ask yourself this. Why did she go so long? And I mentioned this last week. Why, instead of, and I think I mentioned it on my, actually on my Instagram, instead of shaming a woman for acting like she doesn't need a person, a man or a mate or help, ask yourself, what made her so cold or so bold or so independent in the first place? There had to be a reason. People just don't come in this world not needing anybody. We come in this world needing. We need our moms to feed us, we need dads to, comfort us. And so we need our parents. We come in this world fucking needy as shit, and we learn little by little how to be independent, how to walk on our own, how to talk, how to do this and how to do that. So we don't come in this world not wanting anything. We naturally want for something. So with that being said, if I grow up if I have an upbringing that revolves around me not having anyone, then I gravitate towards people that are just as emotionally distant or unavailable altogether. Then, honestly, and I don't expect every guy that I meet to have a fucking degree, but if that person at least has some understanding how humans work, then they're going to be like, you know what? I can see why you do what you do. Babe, I got it. You be patient. It's a level of patience that you should have. Instead of shaming her for it, say, oh yeah, why you act like this, and getting mad and getting all in your feelings. Like even the guys that say, well, I'm an alpha male and blah, 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 blah. Like, I remember I asked the guy, what is your definition of an alpha male? And he was like, yes, the wolf and the alpha male is the leader of the pack. I'm like, well, baby, you might want to go to a wolf conservation land or watch them on YouTube or National Geographic. There's no such thing as an alpha male in a wolf pack. Not really. Wolves don't have an alpha male unless you take them out of their pack. And in order for them to secure their male, secure their ego, ergo safety, they pump themselves up mentally. I'm the big bad wolf out of all these other solo wolves, because wolves in their true nature have a pack mentality. Even though the pups of a female wolf will sometimes they may form their own pack, but for the most part they stay within their pack. They stay within that same family of wolves. It just gets bigger and bigger. That's like they're a social creature, much like ourselves. So that being said, you really only see alpha males in captivity. You don't see them in the free wild. You really, really don't. There's no need for it. The idea about being the alpha male instead of the beta male is a insecure, male, egotistical, toxic, and fragile notion. It just is. And in the wolf sense. Y'all thought I was going to come and bash y'all. And I'm not bashing men. This is not a male bashing thing, because I'm going to get over to the point of how this ties in to women that are just toxic and damaged. As far as an independent, I'm going to use the word strong. As far as a strong woman, or a strong person in general, You should not ask them to dim their light because yours can't shine as bright as theirs. You know what I mean? It's really toxic. It's really fucked up. And it's crazy because you tell a woman, oh, don't do this. Don't be too independent. Don't act like you need a man because it's going to make him not feel needed. But then you turn around and ask some females what they bring to the table. Bro, make it make sense. You know what I mean? And then the females that get caught in the middle, it's like you shame her for wanting, you know what I mean, for not being easy, but then you nag her as to when she gonna give it up or why she said no or whatever the case might be. Like, we can't be too sexy, we can't be too strong, we can't be too loud, we can't be too anything. We gotta walk this fine tight rope line of perfection, and it's fucking draining. You know what I mean? I've had guys tell me, like, right now, this is week 2 of my natural hair being out. And like I said, I usually go about a week or two. And this guy was like, oh, I love your natural hair. You should keep it out. But you're the first, when I post pictures with my weaves and my crazy colors, which I'm trying to figure out which color I'm going to do next week. Oh, girl, you beautiful. You queen. You know what I mean? It's so funny that for people that claim to like a girl that got real hair, you'll turn and say, oh, when you gonna get your hair done? Like, I can't make this shit up. So, you know what I mean? It's crazy that a weak, fragile ego. And let me tell you something. We're all comprised of energy. Before I even go to the next point, we're all comprised of energy. Masculine and yes, feminine. There are two polar opposites. They're connected, but they're opposite. And this has nothing to do with gender or gender identity. This is just talking about the essence of the energies and stuff. Yeah, and I guess you can take it as under identity, I guess. And we're not talking about transit, what you relate to, what you were born into, and assignments and all stuff. We're talking about genuine identity and energies. We all have a little bit of both. We just do. Some that, relate and are born male have more masculine energy, and vice versa for females. It's okay for a woman to receive. It's okay for a man to give. And it's okay for you to do a little bit. Like, that masculine and feminine energy doesn't just necessarily pertain to the actual physical gender of a person. It just maintains the energy that we're constantly shifting back and forth. I'm going to give versus one day I'm going to receive. Back and forth, back and forth. You got to find a synergy with somebody. So if the person that you're with is more of a giver and you're more of a receiver, it will work. Not in the sense of the word. But if you got two givers, they might drain each other. You got two receivers, they're going to feel inadequate to each other or not needed, or they're going to get bored. So just keep that in mind. Now, as far as the roles that we equate to our gender, the stereotypical roles and whatever it is, you know what I mean? We tell a woman, oh, you need to have him. Like, you know how many times people have told me, why are you single? Why you don't have a man? And this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 and this, that. And I'm like, it comes and goes. Some days I feel it, and some days I don't. And maybe it is because I have so much going on that I don't really think about it like that. And then there are other days when I'm ovulating, and I'm like, and not even when I'm ovulating, because now I'm not. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, holy crap, I really want somebody right now. And it wasn't that I even wanted a man. It wasn't a specific person or type. It's just like, I just was feeling in my feels. I don't know. Can't really explain it. That being said, and I have some notes here, but my handwriting is terrible on here. We tell a woman it's easier. Like, we discredit women because we tell them it's better to be with a man that don't suit your needs, or you bring yourself down to make him look great. Don't outdo him. Don't make him look bad, and by making him look weak, by showing the world that you can do something better than he can. So now it's like, okay, well, you want me to limit myself and him to devalue me, if that's the case, I might as well be by myself. I can do bad by myself. Further, when you do that, you discredit a woman because you say it's easier to invalidate her, belittle her, devalue her because she can't be manipulated. You can't manipulate her. Like, really? That's kind of messed up. Now, all that being said, and I kind of dabble back and forth with the stripped and broken woman, the woman that needs mental help and she needs to heal. You know what I mean? I seen Gilly. I follow him from Major Figures. I follow him. He was talking about women that get their heart broken and they gotta heal. And I was about to comment, but I didn't. My homegirl that I'm cool with, she actually said most of what I wanted to say. Let that woman heal. It's not the fuck boy that broke her heart that she's healing from per se. Yeah, heartbreaks hurt, but sometimes she's healing from the fact that she allowed herself to be duped by this man because deep down inside she has a trauma that hasn't been resolved because 9 times out of 10 she probably been with somebody like this before. She ignored all those signs. She saw it coming and it's hurting. And it's okay to heal so you don't go pick some nigga like that. It ain't, excuse my word in English, it ain't about just getting dick. It's about the fact that you want to heal. And you want to not pick. That's just like how I am. I'm not healing from the dickhead that broke my heart back in 2017, 16, 15, whatever it was. I am healing because I want to be a better person all around through. It ain't just my heart, my libido. It's my physical health. It's my skin, my hair, my nails. Like, yo, look, let me tell you, the growth happened when I left that sorry behind. I ain't stressing my hair the fuck out. It might be wild, but I'm not stressing myself out about it no more. So with that being said, I wanted to heal, and it felt good to heal, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, financially. Every aspect of my being needed to heal, and it's still healing. That journey is not depicted by you or anybody else. It's depicted by me. When I feel that I'm ready to jump back out there and I feel that I'm ready and I'm whole, all right, so be it. Moving along. The broken woman, this is the woman that y'all need to steer clear from. The broken man is who y'all need to steer clear from. The one who thinks she doesn't need someone because she assumes every man is the same, they're going to hurt. That's a broken woman. She's not independent. She's just broken and she's hurt and she hasn't healed. That's who you need to help him because she's going to be the type of person that never fails to remind you what she has and, well, I did this for myself and I did this. You don't need to list that, sister girl. You doing it. You doing the damn thing. You raised your kids. Sorry, I'm hitting my mic. You raised your kids. You took care of yourself. You got your finances in order. You don't need the validation of a man. And I'm not saying not to invalidate you, but you don't need validation. You don't need to prove a point to nobody. So when you're dealing with these women that are so fucking hurt, that they got to remind me, I don't need you. I don't need you. And then on top of that, and I'm not talking about broken as if she ain't got shit to offer, because you can be bringing everything to the table. Fuck, you could be the table and still be broken. And choose a person that's broken because deep down inside, you haven't healed from your trauma. Not only that, you are choosing a broken person because at the end of the day, it's easier to choose a broken person than to face your traumas and to heal. I, for a long time, chose people that not only did I didn't really need those particular people per se, but I chose people that are emotionally distant and fucked hearted because it made it easy for me I latched on to that toxicity and it made it easier because, and I keep repeating myself, I lost my train of thought for a second there, but it just made it easier because I didn't realize that I was still hurting. And it went back, like I said, it goes back to the childhood. It goes back to so many different things in my life that I didn't even realize was fucked up. I basically told someone, somebody said, because I said, don't be dealing with people that are fucked up. Basically same shit I'm saying now. And this guy got on there, guy that I know, he's cool. He was like, I don't know if it's stubbornness or trauma or both, but I've dealt with 2 independent women, and they thought very independently, which is hard to be in a relationship with, so to speak. So he was talking about how independent was and was hard for them to be. And, I basically responded, it is. Trust me, I know. I am personally. I had to deal with it and I had to heal, and I'm still healing from it. It was in this that I discovered why I not only didn't need help, but that I chose broken people who couldn't help me. So it was like I purposely, on accident, chose these broken people because I was broken. And that's what happens. And then we don't heal, and then we stumble onto someone who just wants to be loved and yada, yada, yada. And we end up fucking their shit up because we ain't get it right. And that's a broken, damaged person. That's who you need to steer clear from. It's not that strong, independent woman that you should be threatened by. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be threatened by a woman that's doing good in her life. Especially if you want to turn around and say, oh, what you bring to the table. Like, you don't want me to be needy, but you want me to need you. Make it make sense. So all of that, I'm saying that to say this. Heal. Period. It doesn't matter if you got all your ducks in a row, because I've seen people, men and women, you're like, damn, he looked good, she looked good, smelled good, got financially they're doing great, they seem like a good parent or a good caregiver, they're really friendly, they're funny, they got a great personality, but they can't keep a relationship to save their life. Why is that? And it's not because, it ain't no good people out here. There's good people out here. But we gravitate towards the love we think we deserve, not the love we actually need. So with that, I'm going to head on to my sponsor. Y'all didn't think that was going to go there, did y'all? So I don't have a sponsor of the week. I will have one next week. I actually do have one, but I think it would be fitting to put them next week. I'm here to let you know it's Memorial Day weekend. If you're listening to this on Spotify or wherever you stream your podcast, and it's Monday, guess what? We just Memorial Day. So I am extending my Memorial Day holiday weekend sale all week long. I need you to go to my merch store and get you a tee like this. See, it says, love yourself. Love yourself. I got a lot of these. I got mugs, I got slippers, I got a whole shebang. Love yourself. And Pride is coming up. I got the unapologetic tees. I'm actually going to have some sample of those coming out soon. I like to give some samples away. Sometimes people see them like, oh, I want that, because I'm going to Pride this year. I haven't been in a couple years. I definitely want to go. But that being said, all of that is 25% off site-wide. Use promo code CYBER25, CYBER25. All one word. Save 25%. Can't beat that. That is a great deal. And I'm doing that for this week. I'm extending it. Last few days of May, first few days of June. Go get you some stuff. Mugs, slippers, shirts, towels, phone cases. I got a lot of stuff in that merch store, and I want to be the one to give it to you. So go ahead on over there, save some moolah, support your girl. Pride is coming up. Don't give away your money to all these people just because they slap a rainbow on some shit. Give it to someone that's actually within the LGBTQIA plus community. All right, y'all. Let's get to these writers' reflections. Hey, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Single Chronicles. Today, we talked about the independent woman versus the broken woman and why healing is so important these days. Why it's important to heal traumas. And I can't stress that enough. That's what the love yourself mantra is about. It's all about finding what went wrong in your life and finding why you choose the people you choose. Why do you make the decisions that you make? Like right now, I came to a new revelation of why I'm stressing and constantly worrying, and my anxiety has been peaking, and I haven't been getting much sleep lately. And I was like, oh wow. And I'll discuss that later on. That's something I haven't really fully come through, but it's something. It's first it's the awareness, and then it's the shock. You have to be aware of the trauma. Then you're like, oh wow, the revelation of what happened, or why I'm doing what I'm doing. Then that grief and that I don't want to say grief, but I guess guilt. You start feeling bad for it. Then after that, the healing comes in. And now, once that healing comes in and you start doing the work, and you're like, wow, I don't feel this shit no more. I don't feel this pain. I'm not crying. I'm not doing these things. I'm not feeling bad. And then you're like, damn, this is so dope. And now you start fostering that healing out to other people, or you just start being this light. Your aura and your energy is just attracts better to you. So you start noticing, oh damn, that type of person would have never looked at me before. What is it? Because I used to ask myself, why do I keep attracting broken people? Because naturally, on the end of the day, I like to heal and help people, but I was in need of healing and help myself. So I, birds of a feather, we just like, I was like this empathic flame that people were just latching onto, and it was suffocating over the years, and it takes time, healing, regardless if it's about you being independent or whatever. It's not a linear straight line. It's ups and downs. There's going to be some days where you feel up here. There's going to be some days where you feel down there. It's like when I hurt my knee, I had to, wrap it up, make sure everything was good, do the rice thing. They tell you rest, ice, compression, elevation, all that. Just for me to turn around and hurt it again because I didn't understand that why it wasn't fully healed. So that's what I say about healing and trauma and gravitating away from someone that's broken and hurt, because hurt people just turn around and hurt people. And at the end of the day, when you think about a lot of these people that are ashamed, or they find a way to shame and gaslight others that are doing the thing, it's because they didn't heal. I'm going to bring you down and devalue and talk about you and belittle you and invalidate you, because at the end of the day, internally, I'm projecting the traumas that I don't have. I'm projecting my insecurities onto you, my fears onto you, all the things that I didn't get together in my life. I project them onto you, and I stake this, oh, she's an independent black angry woman, or independent woman in general. Oh, feminism, this and blah, 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 blah. No, it's just that I healed, honey. And you need to do the same. And guys, it's nothing wrong with a female who's doing the thing. Don't feel inadequate. Don't feel bruised. Don't feel hurt because she doesn't really need you, but she wants you. That's a beautiful thing. Something wrong with that. Especially when you get to, well, I don't want a needy woman. Because I've seen people turn around and say they don't want a woman that can show initiative and go do some stuff without him having to constantly remind her. But then they turn around and get mad when she's just doing whatever the heck she wants to do all the time. That initiative only applies to them in the relationship, and that is not fair. That is very double-sided. That is a terrible double standard. I'm a religious person. I wouldn't say I'm super religious. I'm a spiritual person. I do have conflicts with my own faith from time to time, and no follower of God will go without conflict. You're always going to question your faith at some point. You're always going to have conflict. There are things, and I always tell myself, the Torah, the Bible, the Quran, these are things that were written in a different time. People were different. The world was different. The world thousands of years ago is not the world now. There are some things that's still the same, but for the most part, a lot of things are not. If I had to equate everything there is about being a woman to what it says in the Bible or the Torah or the Quran, up there, we're up there as far as objectivities with cattle. When they talk about what you're supposed to do with the cattle, then they start talking about what you're supposed to do with your wife. So that should tell you something, So, and that's not to berate anybody's religious belief, but I always look at it as it's like a guide. It's like the Constitution. It needed to be amended over the way. People say, oh, you can't amend the Word of God. Well, the Word of God, or Yah, the Most High, was passed down to men that transliterated and rewrote it, or whatever the case might have been, and added their ideologies to that at that time. It's grown over the years, and the course of the Bible, I mean, if you think about the time gap between Genesis and Matthew alone, that's a long time. So I say that to say this. The point is that we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We strive to be. We strive to be better people. Don't shame someone for doing that. And make sure you heal everything it is you need to do so that you don't come off as someone you don't make someone feel inadequate. Because you've been so hurt by the people you've been with before that now when you get somebody good, you're making them feel like they don't belong. And that's not good. That's not an independent woman or independent man. That's not independence. That's broke. That's trauma. Okay? So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We'll touch base on this again. You know, I always do this type of conversation. Next week, I have something special. Actually, we are coming up on the season finale of the Single Chronicles. We're going to put things on pause for a part of the summer. I think I'm going to go through June, and then I'm going to pause until like maybe the fall. So I will be off for July and August. I need to make time for some other endeavors, and don't worry, the Single Chronicles is going to be back. And I think over the summertime I want to do more of the satire videos that started it all, and you know, stuff like that. But anyway, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I hope y'all had a great holiday extended weekend. Hopefully, by the time I'm recording this and the time you're actually listening, there's nothing crazy has happened, because so much in the news has just been sickening. And that being said, I want to send my condolences out to the families in Buffalo and Uvalde, Texas. I think that's how you say it, where the young children were, the shooting in the elementary school, and a bunch of 10-year-olds and 11-year-olds and 9-year-olds. So sad. 4th grade, I believe it was. I just want to send my condolences out to all of the families. As a parent, I don't even know. You know, you do everything you can to be to protect your children and provide for your children and take care of your children. But at the end of the day, life isn't, God favors to prepare. But at the end of the day, nothing, and I say nothing, no day is promised. Tomorrow is not promised. You can get struck by lightning. You can get things fall out the sky, for heaven's sake. So if you have children, even if you don't, if you have friends and family, take this moment to shoot them a text. You ain't got to even call. Just shoot them a text and say, hey, I was thinking about you. Hope you're well. Send them a DM. Tag them in a post. Something. Let them know you're thinking about them and you appreciate them, because they may not be here tomorrow. Okay? So I'm going to end this with what I normally end this with. Let me move my water before I spill it on something. And that is to be awesome, be you, but above all else, love yourself. All right, guys. Take care. I will see you next time.